anxious to get out in the garden this weekend, but are wondering what to plant right now, we've got your guy. Horticulturist Daniel Cunningham is here to talk about how to get a jump on that growing season. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So glad to have you back. So let's get right to it. What can gardeners safely plant right now, even with the record heat that is coming this weekend in the forecast?
Sure, exactly. So cool season crops can be planted right now. Generally, those are things that you eat the leaf, the stem, or the root. But you want to make sure that you're planting the toughest stuff that can withstand those 90-degree temperatures that we're seeing. So slow bolt lettuces, kales, root crops like beets, also radishes can get you growing before it gets too hot outside.
Got it. Now, as we move into the warmer seasons, because you guys, today's the first day of spring, but summer quickly comes right after that. Can we start planting those warm season crops, or do you think it's too soon?
Yeah, so that's kind of the great debate. Generally, it's a good time on paper to plant the warm season crops, which are the things that we eat the fruit on. So those could be things like squash or melons.
Tomatoes?
Well, so it depends on who you ask. So tomatoes are one of those things that they really don't like it if we get a late cold snap, and that could happen.
Yes, it very much could.
But however, what we know is going to happen is before too long, we're going to get temperatures exceeding 95 degrees in the day, 75 at night. And during those temperatures, the pollen of the tomato is not happy, and so you don't typically get fruit set. So personally, at my house, I've already planted tomatoes. I'm planting more tomatoes just to kind of make sure that we get some production before it gets too hot.
Okay, so maybe this weekend is your weekend to do it before it gets a little bit too late. Now, you just talked about a late cold snap, which is very possible here in Texas. Anything else we should know? Any other plants maybe we should avoid planting before that maybe happens?
Yeah, so I mean, any of this warm season stuff you can plant because there's a greater chance that we won't get a freeze than we will, but you have to make sure that you have your frost cloth handy, mulch very heavy. If you don't have frost cloth, you could use buckets or sheets to cover up, but look at that 10-day forecast, watch the weather, and if you need to protect the plants, go ahead and be prepared to do so.
You know what? I'm glad that you said something about that frost cloth, just because a lot of the times, I do not have a green thumb at all, and maybe it's because I don't have a frost cloth, but every time it gets cold, I'm thinking, it ought to be all right. It's just a day or two. But the plants are like, no, we need some coverage for sure. Now, some gardeners, they wait until April to actually plant those tomatoes, like you said. Anything else we should thinking about planting earlier, I guess I should say?
Yeah, so one thing that I do to really ensure that, that our tomatoes are set up for the hot summer that is going to be here before you know it is to actually, it seems counterintuitive, but prune off the lower branches, and everywhere that you've pruned off has the potential to actually become a root. So I'll actually plant my tomatoes this deep. It helps them to establish a root system quicker and makes them more resilient to heat and drought. And then a good heavy layer of mulch is going to help in that respect too.
Okay, that's actually a really, really good tip. Any other advice that you have for us as we go into this season for someone who maybe does not have a green thumb?
Yeah, main thing is just plant the right, the toughest cultivars, plant them at the right time. And know that being a gardener in Texas can be a challenge. Always look for the next season if something doesn't work out. We've also got some great free resources at rootedin.com. We're more than happy to help if you have any questions.
Okay, you know what? This gets me excited for the spring season because my mom has a green thumb and I just do not. So I'm going to lean in and try my best to maybe get like you, Daniel, here in the coming spring. Thanks so much for being here this morning.
Thank you. Thank you.